Hello, Mikesel here. Welcome back. Today we're going to be diving back into the Destroy mod, and if you haven't seen my past videos, there's some good information back there, so please check those out if you're stuck or looking for more information on some things that aren't covered here. We'll be doing a lot more here in the future. So the Destroy mod, if you haven't heard about it, is about, well, destruction. Well, actually, it's really just about chemistry, but of course there's a lot of exploding things inside of chemistry. And what do you need for chemistry? You need elements, right? But this is Minecraft. There's only so much realism we can get in Minecraft. So today we are going to take a look at a few of the resources we're going to need in order to get some of the crucial building blocks to do some fun things inside of Destroy with chemistry. So first we're going to take a look at a few resources that are actually spawned inside the world. There's only two here. We've got the fluorite ore, which you can find in stone, deep slate, and in the end. It looks like this, and it can also be made into a block. And then nickel, which again has deep slate and regular stone ores. Looks like this. You can get the crushed version through a few different processes. And then, obviously the raw nickel block can be made into an ingot. Now you're going to need these to get different chemicals, obviously nickel and fluoride. We'll be taking a look at those different chemicals and things in the future. Next, we're going to be taking a look at 3 different metals and minerals that we can't find in the world, but we actually have to create. And the way that we get these is actually through vegetables, which, yes, you heard that right, vegetables. So we'll be taking a look at how we get those here in just a minute, but they are palladium, platinum, and rhodium. And again, the crushed variant, which we're going to get from some washing some stuff down, as well as the ingots forms. Additionally, Destroy adds powdered versions of the different metals, so iron, copper, zinc. It also provides a zinc sheet variation for zinc there, nickel powder, palladium, platinum, and rhodium that we get, as well as chalk dust. And again, these are all different ways that we can get different elements and things out in order to do some stuff in chemistry. Now let's actually take a trip out of the lab here. Let's go up my elevator here. So if you're trying to play Destroy in survival, first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go out and you're going to want to find a village, because a village has a new building in it with a new villager. And as you can see here, we've got it right here. That is an inn, and it has an innkeeper. So let's go take a look inside. So inside the inn here, you'll find the innkeeper. Now he gives you various different trades that are going to be useful inside of this mod, as well as his workstation block, which is the aging barrel, which, let's just take a look at this. You'll see the recipe for this. It isn't crazy complicated, but it includes nylon, and all the plastics inside this require some, semi-complex chain of chemical reactions in order to create. This can be kind of a difficult to get early game, but you kind of need a few of the things that you're going to get out of it, or that you trade with the innkeeper for. So that's why I suggest coming to a village and finding this guy. Now take a look at here. I traded him up to master, and your regular level, you're getting a variety of different things, but we're seeing here we're getting distilled moonshine, water bottles, trade bottles for emeralds, brick of yeast, and this is the important one, right? So we're going to need this in order to create moonshine or some chorus wine, which you can actually trade later on. And then you also trade for some bangers and mash, and then quite unusefully the Minecraft beds, but there you go. So before we dive into the farming stuff, let's take a look at these aging barrels. So these are used for 2 different things, moonshine and chorus wine. Like I said, let's take a look at how we make those. So if you fill these up with a water bucket, there's a weird texture glitch, ignore that. And then you chuck in some yeast. Then you can add wheat for the moonshine and popped chorus fruit, if you make it in, for the chorus wine. Now, these take 8 minutes and 10 minutes respectively to create. You'll see here that the red balloon will actually inflate as it approaches being done, right? And so nice little progress bar here that we're seeing, 6%, 4%. Obviously this one's a little bit slower, so it's going to take longer. This is going to go all the way up until 99%, in which case we can come open the lid and then we can subtract everything. So we'll let these kind of age while we take a look at farming. Now I mentioned that you're going to need vegetables in order to get those other resources. Namely, you're going to need beets and potatoes. So let's take a look at here. So if we make this hyper accumulating fertilizer, which is again yeast, which we need, and then ammonium nitrate, put it in a mixer, and it's going to give us hyper accumulating fertilizer. What we do is if we apply this to any beetroots, you'll see that they grow up into this hefty beetroot. What these grow into exactly depends on what's underneath the farm block here. As you can see, I've got different ores here, so you're going to probably want a silk touch pickaxe if you're trying to farm these. But if you, oh, hello. If you use the fertilizer on it, you'll see it sucks up the ore. And now we have a coal infused beetroot. And you'll notice that this actually works for all of these vanilla ores, as well as ones that are added by the mod, which is nickel and fluorite. And I just noticed it actually works for zinc as well. So let's add zinc. And there we go. Now we have zinc. Sorry about that. So I'm going to switch into our survival here, and so that we can harvest these, because if I try to harvest these in creative, I'll just destroy them. All right, in survival, so if I come and harvest these, you'll see I get these zinc infused beetroot, hefty beetroot, and all the others. Well, we can actually use them in our potato cannon, which is awesome. And they do a few different things. So if we take a look at the tooltip here, you'll see that if I use it as potato cannon ammunition, zinc will give strength to whatever it's targeting. Coal will give the target blindness, speed from copper, resistance from iron, regeneration from gold, instant damage from redstone, glowing effect from lapis, emerald will give jump boost, diamond will give poison, nickel will give hunger, and fluoride will give weakness. Well, let's just clear away that acid rain. We'll be taking a look at that in the pollution part. Now, I mentioned that you're going to get those other materials out of it. So how do we get those out? So if we cook these beetroots, you'll see that we get beetroot ashes, which we can use all these different variations in order to make tuff, right? Through cooled with our refrigerator, some lava and beetroot ashes, we're going to get tuff. So you can actually automate tuff with these. Pretty cool way to get tuff there in a renewable way. Now, if you use any of these infused ones and cook them down, eat their ashes, you can actually wash their ashes to get different materials. So coal infused, if you wash it, you're going to get coal out of it with a 50% chance of a second coal and less than 1% chance of getting diamonds. So if you're not using fortune on your tools, I guess this is one way to get maybe some more out of it and then chance of that. But I still think the best way to do it is just getting through fortune. But as we can see here, if we use copper and wash it, we get copper, 10% chance of iron. We also get a chance of platinum. So here's how we get platinum. Infusing a beetroot with copper, burning it, and washing it, we have a 2% chance of getting platinum. And this is the only way to get platinum. Additionally, gold is the only way to get palladium. So copper and gold are the two that you need. You can go look at the JEI recipes for the rest of those. I'm not going to go over those with you. We're already kind of going over this a lot. As we can see now, our moonshine is done, but coarse wine is not, so we'll come back here. The next vegetable we mentioned is potatoes. So if we take baked potatoes, we run them over a saw, and then smash them once, apply butter, which we looked at how to make butter in a previous episode, and then smash them again, we get mashed potatoes, which is pretty awesome. And you can make a block of mashed potatoes if you so want. You can compost those, or you can use them as a food source. But where this comes into play for us is if you run mashed potatoes through a crushing wheel and make them really mashed, you actually get a chance of getting rhodium, our last one. Now, I filled this whole barrel all the way up with stacks of 64 of mashed potatoes, and I only got 10 raw rhodium, so it's pretty rare. You see we get less than 1% chance of getting rhodium out of crushing the mashed potatoes, which you can use a millstone as well, the same rates there. So those are those three other metals. Let's take a look here. This should be done. There we go, they're both done. So I just pop the top here, and you see I've got moonshine, and I've got my coarse fruit. Now, one thing I thought you could do is come up with a bottle and click on here, but you can't. So the only way to do this is actually to extract these using a pump. If you do that, you can then put your bottles here, and you'll get your coarse fruit, or your coarse wine, or your undistilled moonshine, which you can then distill to distilled moonshine, double distilled, triple, and then on into make ethanol. And again, this is another avenue for a lot more of those kind of chemicals we need. Coarse wine itself just has an interesting effect. So if we walk over here, you'll see that if I drink this, it takes me back to where I was 20 seconds ago. So it's a quick escape from something. Now, again, it checks to make sure it's safe to do so. It won't just dump you in wherever, but pretty cool little feature there. Now, besides using it for its chemicals, moonshine doesn't have much reason. Now, both the moonshine and the wine will give you this inebriation effect, and it'll compound on top the more you drink, causing negative effects, lots of different things there. If I keep going, eventually I'll get nausea. There we go. Now that I've reduced that down to just one level of inebriation. Whenever you're inebriated, you can actually, relieve yourself by crouching over a cauldron. It's a little gross, but this is actually a necessary part of progressing inside of the destroy mod, because you need to get the urine and you need to, then you can collect this, and as you can see, if you can create gold out of it using alchemy, which this is obviously not the best use for this. By distilling that down, you can get ammonia. We need ammonia for a lot of things inside the destroy mod, and this is actually a very natural way to get ammonia in real life. So interesting, maybe slightly gross way of doing it here, but there you go. Now additionally, we're going to need a baby villager. One more thing we're going to need here. Hey, come back here. Alright, well, we fenced in our little playground here. No, running away. Hey, you better not be able to leave. Anyway, what we need them for is to get another valuable resource. Now, I've got a bucket and spade, and if we use a dispenser, we actually can create sandcastles, which is pretty cool. But, additionally, these baby... Hey, come over here. Hey. Got something for you, buddy. Yeah, look at that. That looks like fun, right? If you give it to a baby villager, they will actually go around and they will build sandcastles for you, which is pretty cool. Now you're like, why do I need a sandcastle? Well, we don't need a sandcastle. What we need is a bottle, so that when we smash the sandcastle, we can collect those baby tears. That's right. A little rude, but here we go. We get a bottle of tears by, again... That doesn't make you sad? Oh, that was mine. That's why it didn't make him sad, because it wasn't his sandcastle. Just give me your... Oh, yeah, you already did. So as you can see here, we get sodium and chloride from those tears. Another more chemicals, more elements that we need in order to do different compounds and make different things. So really important feature. Now, this isn't the only way to get it. You can actually take gas tears and surround them by bottles and it'll give you tears, but that's maybe not quite as fun. Additionally, if you get crying obsidian and you either hit it with a bottle or you put them through a mechanism, you can get tears that way too, and it gives you obsidian. Now, they're just not as fun. And then obviously the mysterious conversion here is using the spade to smash their sandcastles. Well, I think we're done terrorizing these villagers in this village for a while, so we'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully this was entertaining, give you some good information on how to progress. Again, all this stuff kind of gets us closer to that kind of survivability with the destroy mod. I know a lot of the stuff we've been talking about has been theoretical, so hopefully this is useful. If you have any questions, comments, if you have any things that I did wrong and you want to correct me, please leave a comment. I'm also open to any mods or different things you guys want me to review. We got some fun stuff coming up, so I appreciate you watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Look, I'm sorry, bud. I know. I'm ashamed.